This is Zac and Gus, the podcast.
Alright, Zac, now which side of the Cooper's bottle cap do you want to be?
I want to be the silver side, Gus.
Oh, I wouldn't have expected that.
For everyone who's missed it, obviously, we have had to do a re-record, and I obviously chose silver in the first edition. Oh my god, we restarted.
It's Bottle Cap Up! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast. I'm the leader of the show, which means we're going to go straight into something that we were talking about last week, Zac.
But before we do that, for video listeners, we do need to change our backgrounds. I am now a big red cross to prove that I lost, unfortunately. And Angus,
What
did
am
you
I?
not? You're a crown, because you won.
I'm a crown because I won, but I forgot to do that whole thing where I went and downloaded the crown. So I'm going to have to do that now.
God, okay, we'll be back now. And we're back.
So, yeah, I forgot to do what Zac told me to do and get a crown for if I won. But as you can see, if you're watching the video version, I now have Shrek, just the top of Shrek's head and his crown behind me, which I think is very appropriate. Alright, so last week on the show, I asked Zac if he thought that I could cook an egg with HotHands hand warmers. And I said to Zac that if he got it right, he would get a point on the leaderboard. Now, Zac?
Now, my guess was that you wouldn't be able to cook it, and I still stand by that. I feel like it's still impossible.
Alright. Interesting.
Oh, great. And for anyone wondering, Angus did just drink, but because the water horn was so obnoxiously long, I have stopped using it.
Which means I just get a free pass on drinking water on the show now, right?
Which is... No, I hate it so much.
Well, you're going to need to bring something else in. Anyway, so essentially I went to buy HotHands. Now, first, I went to Coles. Coles did not have HotHands. Next, I went to Priceline Pharmacy. Priceline Pharmacy, they had like the toe warmers or something, and I was like, that is not sufficient. Then I went to Chemist Warehouse. Chemist Warehouse had HotHands body warmers, and they're like the big ones that attach to your clothes. And I was like, surely that's the most intense HotHands of all. So I was like, I want the best chance of this working, and I didn't specify what HotHands I was going to use. So I got...
Understandable. If I was you, I would make the most of this situation.
So I got these massive HotHands body warming pads, and I brought them home. Essentially what I did, I'll put some pictures for the video listeners up on the screen right now of what I did. So essentially I wrapped an egg. Oh, look, that's where it is. So essentially I wrapped an egg in tinfoil, like cracked an egg into tinfoil and wrapped it up, and
what the hell? And
I taped it up so that none of the egg's liquids could escape. And then I sort of surrounded it entirely with HotHands and then wrapped another layer of tinfoil around it. And I sort of did like, you know, for a Pass the Parcel, how there's layers and layers and each layer has a present in it.
Yeah, a present of HotHands and eggs.
It was like that, beautiful. But the wrapping paper was tinfoil and the presents were HotHands, and the final present that the last kid gets was an egg. I think that was a good analogy.
It sounds like amazing. It sounds like an amazing Pass the Parcel, just what every kid wants at their birthday party. HotHands and egg.
Yes, an egg that may or may not have been cooked. So now I left it. I left it overnight because I kind of forgot about it, and then I woke up in the morning and I unwrapped it. So I will now put the video of me unwrapping it up on screen, and I'm gonna have it. Zac, can you edit in a drum roll here?
Yep, I can. Drum roll is playing right behind us.
All right, drum roll, please.
It's like I'm pretending to play the drums on the video version because the drum roll's happening.
It did not cook.
I knew it would not have cooked.
Even slightly.
I knew it would not have cooked.
Not even a little bit. Not even in the slightest tiny amount. It was every bit as raw of an egg as when it went in.
I was so ready for that to happen. There was no way you were going to be able to cook an egg with HotHands. And as soon as you told me, I was like, this man is crazy. It's never going to work. And sure enough, it did not work. And I've never been happier to know that.
Well, where the idea originally came from was one day I was like just thinking, I was like, hot hands get pretty damn
They
hot.
do. They get up to 70 degrees Celsius hot. And this sounds like a plug, but it's not a plug.
And so I was thinking with just the regular ones, I was like, could these boil water? And that's where the idea, I never tried
no,
that,
they
but that's where
couldn't
the idea
because
came from.
It only gets to 70 degrees and you need 100
Yes.
to cook water, to boil.
Fair point, yeah. You'd think I would have worked that out, but I didn't. Anyway, these body warmer ones, despite the fact that they're much larger and they seemed like they'd be way hotter, I don't know if I just got dodgy ones, but they barely heated up at all. So I'm sort of...
Did you shake them properly?
I shook them so much, and I put them in front of a fan. I did everything I possibly could to try and make these things heat up, and they just didn't heat up that much.
That's disappointing.
So I think I'm gonna do a retrial with regular hot hands.
Okay, but that's not...
This still counts.
Is that for point?
You still get a point.
Good. I'm glad I get my point.
And I'll just give you guys an update when I do that. We won't do another guessing unless you want to guess, Zach.
I'm happy to get another point and guess no. So yeah, sure.
All right, Zach is Bleep.
Don't ask, because I have no clue. Let's check. At the moment, I would be... Did we have a game last week?
I don't think so, no. No, the game last week was me asking you if the egg would cook or not.
Okay, so since podcast 14, assuming we have had no games, then you are beating me by one game at the moment. But I need to update the leaderboard, so can't confirm on that.
Wait, so I'm beating you by one game, not including the game that you just won?
No, including the game I just won, but possibly not including other games that happened in between podcast 14 and now.
Okay, so I probably have one in the bag. All right, yeah, let's just go for it. Zach thinks that I cannot cook an egg with the regular hot hands. I reckon I for sure can. Absolutely.
Mate,
There's
you're
no
cooked.
way that this isn't going to work.
You're cooked. There's no way that that's happening. But okay. Angus, I would like to bring your attention to something very important. Last week, I hated on the What Image Are You account, but my mind has been changed.
Your mind has been changed. You now like these accounts?
Over the week, I got featured. Well, not I, but like my name got featured on the What Dildo Are You accounts, and I've never been happier.
Oh!
And
Oh, wait, no, you sent this
Yeah.
to me. You sent this to me, and then I looked at the... Okay, so essentially...
this really
for
is a
those who
setup
don't know,
into
last week,
into bad financial decisions, but yeah.
which is not occurring this week. So, on the show last week, Zach was talking about the What Such and Such Are You accounts, which are essentially accounts on Instagram that post an image of something and put a name next to it, and it's like, oh, you are this thing. So there's the What Dildo Are You account, and Zach sent me his post from the What Dildo Are You account. So I looked on the account, I was like, oh, what would a Gus dildo be? And I got really depressed that they didn't have my name on there. So I read their bio, and it
This is
said
the
that if
biggest-
you donate to this...
The biggest scam ever.
So I read their bio, and it said if you donate to this organization, it said that they would add you to the posts. So I donated $1. I only donated
But
$1.
it's still such a scam.
$1 US,
You
so it's probably like $1.10.
donated money to be featured on a dildo account, Angus.
I literally donated money so someone could badly write my name, badly photo edit my name over a picture of the shark dildo, which I'll put on screen right now.
Also,
We'll also put
yeah,
Zach's
I would
dildo
argue
on
my
screen,
dildo
yeah.
was a pig foot shaped dildo, and I would argue that my dildo was humorously more funnier. But what I've just thought,
It was, but it's also just really confusing. Like, why foot? Why is it a pig foot?
I've
Who wants that?
got no clue, but I've just thought, should we buy our versions?
Okay, so Zach, I already had this idea.
Yeah.
Immediately when I saw mine, I was like, I want to buy it, like, just to have it as, like, a memoir or something. And so I looked it up. I, like, reverse image searched the image, and it turns out it's not an actual dildo available for sale.
Yeah, I can't find mine either as I'm doing my research either. So where do these people get these dildos from, Angus?
I don't know. I would assume that there's just a lot of people who have like 3D printers and make really weird custom
Wait,
dildos and then
Angus,
post pictures
no.
of them online.
Mine definitely... That's my dildo. I feel like I should buy mine.
How much does it cost?
I don't know.
What website is it
AliExpress.
on? Of course it's on AliExpress.
40 Australian. I could afford that.
Okay, so you can buy your dildo. My dildo, from what I've researched online, doesn't exist. But my friend's boyfriend very recently got a 3D printer, so I could make a 3D model of my dildo if I even knew how to do that, and ask him to print it out.
I
for
think
me.
this would be perfect for the Zac and Gus set once we start professionally. Well, not professionally.
It would.
It'd be good
amazing.
alongside the Queen and whatever else we've already got organised to be on.
Can you show me yours again?
Unfortunately. There you go. It's very weird.
It is. I don't understand
I don't
at all.
understand why anyone would buy this apart from a meme, but I'm buying. Can I deliver it to your address? I don't want it coming to my house.
Why? But why?
It's fucking pig snout and foot.
But if you deliver it to my address, I'm in lockdown. It's just gonna inconvenience you because I won't be able to bring it to you.
Well, it's probably coming from China, so it's probably not going to be close anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Is that all we wanted to say?
That's enough dildo chat until we own the dildos, I reckon. Okay, Angus. So over the week, thanks to a good friend of mine, they've been bringing Chubba Chumps to school, and I have brought into my life a new fascination with Chubba Chumps that I don't think I've ever had since a child. And I was just wondering, this is just quick, have you had a Chubba Chup
Fascination.
in recent...
What do you mean by fascination?
Well, not a fascination, but I just really enjoy lollipops, and I forgot how good lollipops were.
Yeah?
There's not much. I don't understand why I've brought this to the show. I wrote it in my notes.
Me neither. I don't understand why you bring a lot of things to the show, Zach. Like the letter N. This seems on... Actually, no. This is better. Look, just to insult you as much as possible, I care more about this than the letter N shit that you brought last
I
week.
was so passionately into the letter N last week. I actually gave a shit. I don't know why I've chosen to put Chubba Chups as the next thing I talk about this week.
I don't even remember the last time I had a lollipop.
You need to have one. Honestly, they're so good. I don't understand why I stopped having them.
Food's just... It just annoys me when it's you don't chew it, you just have to sit there and suck on it. I get bored of that so quickly.
But patience, mate. Surely you have a bit of patience somewhere in you.
Yeah, but what does the patience lead to? Actually, that bit at the end of the lollipop where it gets real tiny and then you chew it, that's pretty
And
cool. I
also,
like that.
patience means that you get to keep onto the lollipop for longer.
Yeah, but I don't really enjoy it that much.
Well then...
Or maybe I do. I haven't had one in a while. Alright, guys. Between now and the next episode, I'm going to have a Chuppa Chup this week, and I'm going to report back next week. I'm going to give you Gus's Chuppa Chup review.
Like the fish and chip review, but better. See, we're moving places, Angus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Chuppa Chups. Chuppa Chups. Make me want
Lick
to
my
lick
lips.
my lops. Eat them for breakfast. Lick them for breakfast, lunch, and tea.
It's
Gus's
Chuppa Chup review, you see? This is
Alright,
really so much a musical podcast as it is a shit comedy podcast.
That's going to be the opener.
What, just us singing it? Okay, Angus.
No. I'll make it all proper and good.
Last week you told us about a group chat.
So last week, I told you about a group chat that I was planning to make. So essentially the premise that I presented to Zach last week was that I was going to make an Instagram account that didn't have my name on it or anything. And I was going to print out a bunch of invites to a group chat. And I was going to put them in random people's letterboxes. And Zach, you best believe I did the hell out of that. So
I'm glad that you did something you promised for once. Despite the fact that had we recorded the podcast on the Sunday that we usually recorded on, you would not have been able to say that.
Yeah, but there were other reasons that I didn't want to record on Sunday. Anyway, $32.40 is what I spent on printing out these group chat invites. 100 of them, 2 per A4 sheet, 65 cents
Why were they that
per
big?
color A4 sheet at Officeworks.
Why did you print them that big, Angus?
Look,
I would have thought a
I just-
business card size would have sufficed.
yeah, but I thought if it's big, people are more likely to be like, oh, it's a big thing in my little box.
No, people are going to ignore it just as much as they ignored it any other time around.
Well, funny you should say that, Zach, because
You already know how bad this has ended.
So last night I went to Carlton at like 11 p.m. and the reason I chose Carlton is because Carlton has the lowest median age of any suburb in Melbourne, and I was like, young people more likely to join a random group chat that they get invited to in the mail.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Now I got to Carlton and I immediately worried, Zach, because all the houses there, and I guess this is just because it's inner city Melbourne, but it looked very rich.
Yeah, Carlton does look super rich. Doesn't look like the type of people that'll be participating
It doesn't
in a shit
sound
meme.
rich. The name Carlton made me feel... I thought I was going to be walking into a shithole.
Yeah, it doesn't
But-
sound like a rich place, but when you walk there, it really is quite a nice place to be in.
Yeah. And so immediately when I saw the houses, I was like, these people are not gonna bleep care about this. And nearly, I'd say like 80% of the letterboxes I saw there had that only addressed mail or no junk mail or
Did
no
you
advertising
follow the
material.
no junk mail signs, Angus?
No, I broke it so many times, Zach.
I'm glad you did that for show content. But if anyone
I
else
had
hears
to-
this, no, we didn't do this at all.
I had to go to 100 different letterboxes, and most of them had that on them. So,
So,
But yeah,
has that lowered the
last-
success rate?
look, Zach, I don't know what the chance of the success rate even was from the beginning. I'd say it was pretty low from the start.
Yep.
It probably lowered something that was essentially impossible to happen at all. So essentially, I checked earlier today. I probably checked last like a few hours ago, and they've been in the letterboxes since last night.
So about
When I
24
last
hours
checked,
now.
Zach, when I last checked, no one.
I wonder why. I feel like it's...
No one has followed the account. No one has messaged the account. No one has commented on the post on the account. So I am just left to assume at this point that maybe in some time in the next week, one person will be intrigued and join. They'll go on the account, see that no one is following it, and they'll be like, oh.
I feel like you would have had a better response if you put posters up somewhere, Angus. If you printed
Maybe,
100
yeah,
posters, I feel like that'd
maybe.
be a much better response rate, and you wouldn't be limiting yourself to one household per poster.
Yeah, if I actually use those 50 A4 color sheets as posters instead and put them up around the CBD and such, yeah, that probably would have gone a lot better.
Pity we're thinking
but
of
yeah,
this
I'll give-
now, hey? $34 later.
Yeah, and more than $34 because when I finished, I was like, bleep, catching public transport home because it was going to take more than an hour, so I booked an Ola home.
Wow. We're not even halfway through the episode, and we've already practically done a Gus's bad financial decisions.
Yeah, so I'll give an update next week. I'll give a death report next week, essentially.
And then an announcement of death of the group chat.
Yes.
Do you know what also nearly died this week?
Your arm?
My arm. How'd you know that?
Because we have a planning document.
How good is a planning document? That's right. I nearly lost my arm this week. So it was about Wednesday, and I was just living my best life, and I was like, oh, bleep, I cannot feel half of my left arm. So I'm showing the screen right now. From here downwards, practically all the way down my arm, it was numb.
That's not good.
Very problematically numb. And I was like, it happened from this moment I woke up, and I was like, interesting, but it'll fade because I've obviously slept wrong. And then I kept going about my life, and it was about 1 o'clock, and I was like, it's still numb. This is a bit weird. So I just continued to live my life, having a good old time. Went home, and I was like, it's still numb. And I was like, okay, if I wake up tomorrow and it's still numb, we're going to a doctor. So, woke up.
And you woke up and your arm was gone.
Where was it? But unfortunately, it was still there and numb,
Oh.
as you would have predicted. So, we called a doctor.
No, I predicted that it was gone. I thought it would have fallen off in your sleep.
Yeah, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I've got a free arm. And then I was like, oh shit, my arm's gone. That was a shit joke. That was not funny.
Yeah, it wasn't funny.
That was not funny at all. Okay, so I woke up and my arm was still there. In case you needed a reinforcement. And we called a doctor. And the doctor were like, we can't do any appointments. So they were like, take him to ER. And I was like, I'm not fucking going to ER for a numb arm. So instead we went to some Chinese medicine dude.
Wait, was this even a doctor?
I mean, Dad goes for his back problems and I've gone for knee problems, but I wouldn't call him a doctor.
Does he have any qualifications?
He's got
to
some
deal with any of those
certificates
problems?
on the wall, you know. He plays calming music as he massaged me. And you know what? That's the end of the story because my arm is no longer numb.
Oh, so the Chinese medicine man's massage worked?
Yeah,
That's good.
well, an hour later, I can finally use all of my left arm, which is very nice.
Well, Zach, if you ever actually break your arm, you'll know where to go now.
I don't think that'd work. I think if I actually broke my arm,
You've had one positive experience there.
Angus, if I actually broke my arm, I feel like properly going to an ER might be the smartest move.
No, I'd say go back to him.
You know, I've never
he's
broken
helped
a
you with
bone.
this. That is very lucky.
Have you broken a bone? I feel like you have.
I've broken my arm and I've broken my finger. And surprisingly, breaking the finger is a lot worse. So much worse.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense because it's so tiny, so all the pain will have to go to one area.
It's not even so much that. It's because it's such a little finicky thing that it doesn't actually ever heal the same way that it used to be.
Oh,
So my
I don't
finger
like that.
still, like, I can, up until this day, I can still tell that it has broken in the past.
That's disgusting.
Because it's not like positioned properly. Yeah. Yeah, I hate it.
Very nice.
Anyway, Aussie Broadband. Zach, did you... Okay, so you're with Aussie Broadband
Yes,
now.
I am now with
You might
Aussie
wanna
Broadband.
Watch out, Zach.
Oh, why am I watching out? Drinks water. Thanks, mate. Oh, disgusting. This is why you shouldn't be drinking
Zach.
on the podcast.
Zach, did you know that you can actually get booted from your ISP for using too much data?
No, I actually had no clue, really.
So, this happened to an Aussie Broadband customer who used an insane amount of data in like that. So, you know how you get the plans, and so you'll have the monthly plans that are they're called unlimited.
Yeah.
But obviously when something's called unlimited, it's not really technically unlimited. It's just like the limit's so high that you would never use that much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm really intrigued as to what the limit is now.
So this guy essentially had the goal of reaching what, like, he had worked out what the limit was, and he made it his challenge.
How did
to
he
reach
work
it in a
out what the
month.
limit was?
This guy used, I don't know. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
He did like some smart computer man
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, not that. I'm not that good. Don't understand that.
He used 35 terabytes.
What the
Bleep.
in a month.
What did he do to get 35 terabytes? That's a lot. Like, you underestimate how big a terabyte is to use 35 of them.
So yeah. So an Aussie broadband user has managed to download a staggering 35 terabytes of data in a month. This is the highest recorded usage on the NBN network ever.
Oh, wow.
And
Does he get a
so
world
this was
record?
published by, I forget who published it,
Yep.
but whoever published this article found the guy.
Oh, very nice.
So essentially this was revealed to the public through a Reddit AMA with Aussie Broadband, where a user asked what the most a user had downloaded was, and the managing director, Phil Brett, said the highest at the moment is 34 terabytes, and they'll probably be hearing from us soon under the fair use policy.
Really? So they can... Okay, but if it was unintentional, though, I mean, I don't know how you unintentionally
There's
use...
no way that's unintentional.
I don't know how you unintentionally use 34 terabytes of data.
So, the fair use policy states that customers must not use the service in a way that would adversely affect Aussie Broadband's network or reputation.
I think their reputation
so
would be
this-
getting a good rap if you can...
Well, yeah, it's not about the reputation. It's more about the network. Like, using that much is
yeah, not good for the network.
yeah. So
Understandable?
so they found this guy.
Yeah.
They found this guy on Twitter who tweeted claiming to be the guy who used all this data. So we're just taking his word for it, essentially. But at the Sammy Kins shared a screenshot of his data usage page that had the 35 terabytes on it, used over 2 days.
2 days! Jesus, so there's still a month to go.
And this is what he said. He said, so this article was by Gizmodo, so they were talking to him directly about it, and he said, honestly, I average about 20 terabytes a month, give or take, just hoarding websites and their data.
What the bleep? What does he do with that?
So this guy just, I don't know. I guess he's just trying to save the entire internet onto a hard drive or some shit.
He's just got autosave on too often.
I mean, that would be really cool if the internet dropped out for a super long period of time and you just had a backlog of all these websites that you'd save.
And I feel like the only thing is you'd be behind on news. But apart from that,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool to have an entire backup of the internet. Think about it. If someone owned the internet, you could sell them a backup of the internet.
Except, I mean, it would be impossible to get
It wouldn't work.
the entire internet.
Yeah, how big
But
would
this
the
is what
entire
he
internet
said.
be? I'm going to Google that.
Okay, well, we'll wait for Zach to estimate the size of the entire internet.
Here we go. How much storage does the entire internet take up? Ooh. 1 million exabytes.
Now, what is an exabyte,
One
Zach?
Exabyte to... We'll do gigabyte. No, you can't. It's too big. Terabyte? No, Angus. It's too big.
It's really okay. So the point is, it's really big.
Okay, yeah.
But,
it's massive, Angus. You multiply the digital storage value by 1e plus 6. I don't understand that, but it's massive.
That's 10 to the power of 6.
Okay. And it's
Anyway,
1 million of those, Angus.
Okay, that's a lot.
There's a lot of
So,
the space on the internet. I don't think Aussie Broadband can handle that.
We've gone a bit off track. So essentially, what this guy did to reach, because he says he usually does 20 terabytes in a month, but he decided that he wanted to push the limit. So he wrote a script that would pull a 5 gigabyte test file from Internode's speed test mirror on loop for 40 hours to reach what he'd been told was the maximum on an unlimited plan. And he got slightly over the maximum.
Good on him. And wait, so did he get kicked off? Or what happened there?
So, yeah, after that happened, because obviously Aussie Broadband knew who he was and he got kicked off the network.
Poor dude.
So don't... I honestly, I stand behind him. I think it was a cool experiment. And it's not like he was I doubt he was going to do it multiple times.
And the thing is, if it's unlimited, you're, I think, within your rights to test how far that unlimited goes.
Yeah, but there would be it would probably be something that's in the terms of conditions that actually stipulates what unlimited
I'll
means.
read that tonight, and I'll provide an update for us next week.
Okay.
Angus, are you done?
I am done.
Angus, it's time to play this. It's the Price is Right Fast Food Edition. Angus, we are playing the Price is Right Fast Food Edition. Last time this happened, I accidentally quizzed you on KFC, and that didn't end well for me. Because you work there, so you knew.
No, because I work there.
But this time...
And Zach, can we just give a little update to the listeners right now on how many fast food meals you owe me?
I owe you 2 KFC meals, 1 McDonald's meal, and 1 or 2 Hungry Jack's meals? Or am I wrong?
No, only one.
1. Okay, perfect.
No, you're right. Yeah, it's 2 KFC meals, 1 Macca's meal, and 1 Hungry
And
Jack's meal.
today we're
And I reckon
fighting
when
to get my Macca's meal back, to make us even on Macca's meals.
Oh, so that's why. So that's what you're doing now. You're just like you're not even playing for meals. You're just trying to win the ones
So
back.
this is double or nothing. If you win, you get now 2 Macca's meals. And if I win, you get 0 Macca's meals from me, and we're back at the beginning.
So you gain nothing either way. You just have to give me less.
I don't gain nothing. I save myself money. I think this is very important. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I reckon once we get out of lockdown this time, pretty quickly we should do a day where
You can't eat
We-
that
we
much
make-
food, and I can't pay for all that food.
No, but I reckon it would be funny. Okay, save up some money, Zach, because I reckon it
Where
would
am
be
I
funny to
saving
do
the
like
money from if I don't have a place of employment?
I don't know, you'll find a way, but I reckon it'd be real funny to do like a segment like those pre-recorded radio segments we did for our first show back, where it's just us going to all the different fast food places and me stuffing myself with like 4 fast food meals.
Okay, we can do
Or
that.
possibly 5, depending on what happens today.
Okay, Angus. So just a reminder to everyone, I'm going to give Angus a product from an Australian store. It's going to be the 3000 postcode. So I think it's Queen Street in Melbourne. And I'm going to give Angus a product. And he's...
Are there different prices at different Macca's?
Yeah, Macca's actually changes prices. And then Angus has to guess within a 10% range.
Because I went to the airport one and I was like, I swear they're more expensive, but
yeah, definitely.
think
They
they would
change
do that.
depending on location.
Wow, I never knew
So,
that.
Angus,
I never
we'll
knew that.
start
There's some
off-
interesting Macca's knowledge for you guys.
We'll start off quick and easy. Macca's biggest and most famous meal, the Big Mac.
The Big Mac. So this is a Big Mac
No,
meal
this
or a
is
Big Mac
Big
burger?
Mac burger, not a meal.
Bleep.
I'm gonna f this up so bad. I don't like Macca's that much, and I definitely don't know their menu prices because generally I only end up there, and I think this is the only reason anyone should ever end up at Macca's when I'm fucking blind drunk.
I don't want to be rude and I
blind-
don't want to get us sued, but Macca's definitely falls third in the list of fast food outlets.
Yeah. It's blind drunk midnight food. That's what it is. And it's perfect for that. I'm not insulting it. That's just what it is. Anyway, a Big Mac
Yeah.
burger. I'm going to say $6.95.
Good work. $6.40, which falls into the buffer zone of $5.75 and $7.05. One on the board.
Very nice.
Next up,
So how many do I have to get right to win?
3 out of 5 to win.
Okay.
Is a 10 packet of McNuggets.
The nugget thing again.
The nugget thing again.
I should have gone and researched this after the last round, but essentially
That would be cheating.
what I stated last time is that I have never bought nuggets at a fast food place outside of the 24 nuggets for $10 deal because I just consider them a shitty deal generally.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't want to be shitting
I'd
on
say-
Macca's, but I do agree.
I'm going to say it's probably a bit over $10. I'm going to say $11.95.
It's $7.65, which falls into the buffer zone of $6.88
Oh.
or $8.42 if you're playing along at home.
That's not bad.
It's not a horrible deal.
Not bad.
Next up, we've got a McFlurry. Now, these, you want to be close with these because these change prices like very often.
I do love me a McFlurry. I mean, I used to when I was like 5 or 7.
I
or
still
9.
love a McFlurry.
I used to really love
McFlurries are
McFlurries.
great. They're the only thing Macca's
They're
has
very
going
hit or
for
miss,
them.
though. I mean, everything at Macca's is hit or miss.
I agree.
But, I'm going to say a McFlurry. Wait, did you say they changed price a lot?
Well, no, just they've changed price a lot in recent times. So not often, but they have changed.
So they've gone up?
Or down.
They've gone up.
Or down.
I doubt they've gone down.
You know, it's cheaper to make McFlurries now.
Why?
The McFlurry machine works more often. I don't know, don't ask me.
I'm going to say, I'm going to assume they went up, and I think they used to be around $5. So I'm going to say, I'm going to try to be safe here. I'll say $5.50.
$5.25, which falls into the safe zone of $4.70 to $5.78. Good work. Two from
Very
three
nice.
here, actually, Angus.
So I just need to get one more right, and I have another Macca's meal in the bag.
Why did I even bother bringing this to the show? And next, we've got the gravy-loaded fries.
Ooh, yeah, I've got no idea with this one. I don't even know how much the regular fries cost, and I swear every time I go to Macca's and I'm like, oh, I want the loaded fries, they don't have them. Like half the
Really?
time they just don't.
I've never
have
even
them.
bothered trying for them.
Also, they got rid of all the good loaded fries. They used to have these truffle like ones
Really?
and with cheese that tasted fucking amazing, and they used to have like the barbecue aioli ones, and now they just have the gravy ones, but most of the time they don't even have those. I'm gonna say $5.
$3.90, which falls into a safe zone of $3.50 to $4.30. Angus, you've got to get the next one to
That's
win.
not a bad price.
Otherwise,
if
I
they ever
don't have to
existed.
buy you a Macca's meal.
Oh, the stakes are high here.
We've got, Angus, a cheeseburger Happy Meal.
Oh, what the I have I'd say I've ordered a Happy Meal in the last couple of years. Yeah, I definitely have, and it was just for the memes.
I haven't
I
ever
remember I
had a
did
Happy
that.
Meal, I don't think.
I used to when I was a kid, I would beg my mum to get me Happy Meals all the time, but it wasn't for the food. It was 100% for the toy, because I used to look online and see what all the toys were, and I like collecting them.
Aww.
Because I used to be obsessed with collecting shit. So I am going to say, it's literally just like a burger and fries and a small drink.
I've got no clue what's in it, mate. Don't ask me.
I know what's in it. So a cheeseburger is like $2, surely. The fries would be like $1. It's got to be around $5. If it was any more than that, maybe $6. I'm gonna say $5.50.
Unfortunately, Angus, I owe you another Macca's meal. $5.50 on the dot.
Yes! Woo! Wait, I was on the dot?
On the dot. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, I love that the bleep menu item I know best of all is the one designed exclusively for children.
This is horrible. I don't think... I don't want to ever gamble with fast food. I've lost.
That's why you shouldn't gamble, kids. Holy shit, Zach. Look at the time. We are...
At about 43 minutes according to us, but the amount of shit that would have been cropped out, I reckon we're only hitting
where do you reckon we are?
my estimate is 35 minutes. Now, this is a bit of a game between Angus and I, where when I'm editing, we see how close we are. Angus, what do you think we're at?
I was honestly gonna... I'd say around 37.
Okay.
But I was just saying it because I don't want us to go way over.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I think we're paying for extra this month anyway, so we can go over. That's just a bit of admin between the boys. Angus, you have something to say.
Alright, I have something to say. McAfee antivirus.
Not McCafe.
Now, Zach, you're probably sufficiently confused as to why I wrote the name of an antivirus software.
Is it because they haven't done their job in 2020?
No. The reason
That was a good joke.
Wait, I didn't get the joke.
Because coronavirus.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool joke. Oh, anyway, so the reason
Yeah.
that I put it on actually has nothing to do with the antivirus software and has more to do, entirely to do with John McAfee, the man who originally created this antivirus software, who is, let's just say, definitely the most insane software developer who has ever existed.
Fill me in, because I'm so confused.
So, alright, so Zach, I appear to be missing some of the information for this story I wanted to tell, so I'm just gonna have to sort of hope I tell it right from memory.
Okay, perfect.
So,
Good work.
So essentially, John McAfee...
Mm.
Actually, give me a moment. Alright, never mind, Zach. I don't have it anywhere, so I'm just gonna have to... So essentially, John McAfee is a fugitive now.
Yeah.
He's the creator of McAfee Antivirus, but he is this insane man who lives on a boat, I don't know where, out in the Mediterranean or somewhere. And he lives on a boat and just does drugs, prostitutes, and etc. He is an insane man. And
Yes.
so I saw his
yes.
name in the I saw his name in the news recently. And essentially 3 years ago, John McAfee was estimating that the price of Bitcoin was going to reach $500,000 within 3 years.
What the
Bleep.
And so, in reply to someone's tweet saying, so, 1 Bitcoin, 500K within 3 years, John McAfee said, if not, I will eat my dick on national television.
What the?
Bleep.
And Zac, it's been 3 years.
So he hasn't. He's due for some dick eating on television.
He is due for a nice sausage. Nice.
I feel like this article is better without any clue from you from what you're doing.
Yeah, I remember preparing like a thing that was like a good description of him and who he is, but all you really need to know is that he is a really good software developer, but also a really unhinged, drug-addicted man who lives on a boat out on the ocean in international
Has anyone
waters.
approached him for the need for him to eat some dick?
They have. So it's also very funny because he's running for president.
What the fuck is this man doing? America is
Bleep.
It really is. So people have taken to Twitter tagging John and saying things such as, John, what's for lunch today? And enjoy dinner, John. Crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji. Monkey with hands over eyes emoji.
what the?
Bleep.
But after the original tweet, the tweet he made 3 years ago, he changed his mind and he said if Bitcoin's not $1 million by the end of 2020, he'll eat his own dick. So he sort of backed out and changed what he said to something that favors him less.
Yeah.
So he's bought himself a bit of time, but the chance of Bitcoin being at $1 million,
Especially considering the financial crisis we're in.
yeah, in the next 5 months, I would say it's just going to be very interesting to see whether he actually goes through with it or not. Because he is such an insane person that I think he would. And I really want to see it happen. I just don't know what national TV station he's planning to get that.
No,
on.
I don't imagine any national TV station is going to want to show a millionaire eat his dick.
But it is America, so
that
it's
is-
going to happen
that is
anywhere.
true. Americans,
And if not,
Americans
you can just
are
do
a
it
bit
online.
weird. That's true. The power of the internet, as he would know. Angus, last week I brought to you some news that I had plugged the podcast, or maybe it was a few weeks ago, to 25,000 people. This week, I learnt some unfortunate news.
That you didn't actually plug the podcast to that many
No,
people?
even worse. I think the podcast has been plugged to your ex and my current school principal.
Explain.
I was doing a bit of work with the IT department and involving the principal as well. And the head techie, Callum, he goes, oh, did you know Zac has his own podcast? And Miss...
Bleep.
That's been bleeped. The principal of my school goes, oh, I'll have a listen to it. And she never, ever mentioned it to me again. But I really hope that she did not, because obviously the head tech had not listened to the podcast either. And I really hope that neither of them have listened to the podcast. Imagine if they're listening to this one now, Angus, and they hear about celebrities eating their own dick.
Look, there's 1,200 students at unnamed school, and I'm sure that Miss...
Bleep. Bleep. Bleep.
That's all been bleeped, you dog.
I'm sure she wouldn't actually be bothered listening to a student's podcast because...
But if teachers,
I'm-
if other staff are recommending it to you, wouldn't you give it a try?
Maybe. Let's just really... I mean, I don't care if she
Yeah,
did.
it doesn't affect
I don't
you.
go to that
I've
school
still
anymore.
got half a year.
If you're listening, Miss Unnamed Principal, I don't give a...
Bleep.
I don't go there anymore, but Zac might give a...
Zac
bleep.
does
So
give
just
a
know
bleep because Zac.
that Zac did not intentionally make you run into this. It was all the techies'
But
fault.
I also couldn't say, oh no, don't listen, because then it's super
yeah, that
fucking
would have been a
sus.
lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, then she would just think that it's a podcast where you shit talk the school.
Yeah, so it had to be done, and unnamed principal, if you're listening, I hope you're enjoying. If you are, tell a friend, leave 5-star review.
Yeah, 5-star review on iTunes. Announce it at assembly.
I'm running the assemblies through.
You've got the power.
I'm live streaming the assemblies. That's why she knows about the podcast.
Oh, wait, you're what?
Live streaming. I'm the person involved in live streaming the assemblies. This is irrelevant information.
How does that work?
Oh, Angus, it's an off-podcast chat.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're listening, unnamed principal, look, Zach's doing all this work for you, live streaming the assemblies. The least you could do is drop us a mention. All right, that's
Please
that.
don't. Actually, no, I wouldn't mind the entire school listening.
No, please do. We need some publicity.
Okay.
We need some, and the entire school. That entire school has seen me dancing in a very suggestive way to Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up." I'm sure this couldn't be that embarrassing.
That's very true. Unfortunately, due to the time constraints, I'm going to have to omit my final thing from the podcast because you are the winner of this week's podcast. So, do you want to introduce what we're doing? Keeping in mind, I have the opener ready at hand.
Do we have enough time, though?
I reckon so. Yeah. If you can cut it within 5 minutes, I reckon we do.
All right. It's time for this. Kyle Sanderlands, radio's biggest shock jock.
I'm a shower smoker. I'll smoke in the shower.
The man who never fails to surprise us. From fake health issues.
He's crying. Well, there's a condition that I've been diagnosed with that I haven't spoken anyway about. Yeah.
Holy moly.
To real health issues.
I think I do have to have an operation on my throat.
We never know what to expect.
No way! No way! Not just eat it. I killed it.
This is Kyle Chat.
Angus, just before we start Kyle Chat, we debuted a segment last week that we didn't include in last week's podcast. Do we want to postpone Kyle Chat to play that segment this week?
Yes, because Kyle Chat for today really ain't that good.
Okay, so we played this last week. I'm pretty sure we introduced it last week. No, we didn't play it last week. We recorded this last week. It didn't make it to last week's episode. Hopefully, it's good enough for this week.
Absolutely. Enjoy this. All right, everyone. So, as the final part of Kyle Chat, we are going to be doing something very similar to what they do over on the Kyle and Jackie O show, which what they do is the 5K bleep door drop, which is where they go to someone's door.
Did you really have to plug
Bleep.
there?
That will be bleeped. So that's where they go to a random person's address that has to be submitted, and they go to the address and they ring the doorbell, and if the person answers the door within 30 seconds, they get $5,000. And I was like, hey, we do a segment about Kyle. We should do a similar thing on our show. Give back to the community in these hard times. So I devised this. Zac Gus's phone. Yes, that's right. This is the Zac and Gus show 5-cent phone drop. We are going to be cold calling one of our listeners, and
No, just anyone.
Okay, we're going to be cold calling someone, and if they pick up the phone within 10 seconds, they will be getting 5 cents. Yes, that's right, 5 cents. Just really something to help people through these trying times. So we're going to be doing the call now, Zac, are we?
That's right, Angus. So I'm going to add a random number to the call. So what do we want to go with? We'll go with 04...
Bleep, 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 bleep. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Are we good with that, Angus?
We're good with that, Zac.
Okay.
And how this works,
Dialing
in
them
the
up.
same style as the Kyle and Jackie O version, we're not doing a second one. It has to be this person who picks up, and if not, no one wins.
And they have to pick up within the next 10 seconds.
Yep, that's correct.
Dialing them now.
Optus advises that the number you have dialed has been disconnected.
All right, that's it for the Zac and Gus show 5-cent phone drop for this week. Sadly, we did not have a winner. Every week, there's the possibility, we know we might have a disappointment. And me and Zac, we love giving money away as much as the next person. We want to really help
give
people
5 cents away to
through
anyone.
these trying times, but we can't determine if the numbers are real or if the people are going to pick up, and that's the game. So just so you know, you could be, if you're an Australian citizen, you could be on this next week. This is going to becoming a weekly segment. Every week, someone is going to have the chance to win 5 cents. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that segment, the Zac and Gus 5-cent phone drop.
We will be
We're-
playing it next week.
This has probably been a longer show than normal. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know. Let us know what you think of the longer shows at Zac and Gus on Instagram or our email that'll all play at the end, or leave a comment on the YouTube video and I might read it.
Oh, very nice. Without further ado, we'll see you guys.
Next week. That brings us to the end of another Zac and Gus episode.
You can like us on Facebook, Zac and Gus,
You can follow us on Instagram at Zac and Gus.
and you can contact this show anytime by emailing zacandgusshow@gmail.com.
Make sure you hit subscribe and we'll see you next week.